rookie at Menstown, comes in at 16, no surprise there. You know, the little scuttlebutt I've heard, yeah, he's lanky, he's got some skills on the holy board, unproven in the beer pong, so we'll see there. I think that long reach could really be advantageous for him. You know, I'm confident to see something big out of Phil McCauley, and I think he might surprise people in the draft.
I am too. Well, we've seen a lot of these newbies kind of come into the tournament and really clutch up. It even happens to the best of them. I do remember, you know, Benassini clutching up on a couple of occasions. So we'll see. Up next, BJ. He's been to a couple of tournaments. He really hasn't done anything yet. He had the first pick last year, and he chose Paul, and that team shot down and burned, you know?
Yeah, real emotional guy. He proved last year. I think he went with his heart and picked Paul Reyes, which was a mistake.
To say
Paul
the least.
Reyes hasn't won a championship. He's kind of danced around a cup a little bit in the earlier men's towns, but a real emotional pick by BJ. They didn't show up. They were an early exit, and you know, I'm not expecting a lot here this year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it really depends upon who chooses BJ. Now, Del Sano's been here for a few men's towns.
Yep.
Again, another competitor who really hasn't made his mark. What do you expect from Del Sano
Del
this year?
Sano's an athletic guy. He's got the tools to do well in the tournament. I think it's just getting it all together and having the right partner that fits him. I think, you know, he got stuck in that little mess of a triumphery last year.
Yes, that was bad.
Clay and Hilligus. There's, you know, no leadership. Everyone was bitter. And then when finally things got paired back up, I think he just had no momentum. And,
Really. Momentum is such a key thing, and synergy with partners, it appears, you know, is everything in Menstown.
And I think the new format this year is really going to allow teams to maybe come out of the gates a little slow, to not be in such a hole where they can't come out and they don't have any confidence and they're fighting within each other. I think you drop a game or two or three, and then you can maybe win a few in your schedule. I think, you know, a 3 and 5 team might make the playoffs.
Really, that's what everybody wants. They just want to have a chance at the end.
That's right.
At 13, kind of surprising, DTs. He's obviously a very athletic and talented individual, yet he has yet to make his mark. I remember Menstown Clear Lake, he made it to the semifinals, or the finals for the Holy Board, but didn't make it to the finals overall. Last year he phased out pretty quickly with Kevin Ratto as his partner. DTs, what do you expect? You know, is this guy got any chance at all to get his name?
No, he really doesn't. He's more of a bit of a, you know, a class clown of Menstown. He likes to run around. Even last year we saw his dead rat at some point. He doesn't take the game serious enough, and when he does, he clutches up. I think he starts to feel that pressure. He doesn't have it within him to win a cup. I don't think the mentality's there. I think he's got some physical
That's quite enough. I personally spoke with DTs, and you know, he will say this, that last year's Menstown performance really was not his fault. His partner Ratto really dropped the ball.
He stays right in his area. He goes from 12 to 13. The real surprise was, where was Bugs going to go making a final last year, and we saw him pop up 4 spots.
Well, why don't we get back to the rankings as they are? But I believe that DTs is a solid performer who would be an asset to any team. Number 12, Simerson. Simerson was paired with, you know, the holier-than-thou Levette, and they phased out really early of last year's Menstown, though they did manage to upset a couple of teams, but they didn't place. They didn't even get to the finals. Simerson, big guy, but he is a hothead.
Yeah, I think Simerson showed a lot of emotion last year in the other direction. When they fell down a couple games, I think they lost their first 3, and then they went on this tear and won 5 in a row in beer pong. Levette had to carry him a lot as far as his emotions went. A lot of negativity we saw, a lot of, you know, just lack of belief, and I think that's going to cost him again this year. I see him getting picked real low.
Interesting. I did speak with Simerson, and he had nothing but negative things to say about his partner, Levette. Yeah. Levette, with all his pomp and circumstance, really didn't come through in Simerson's eyes when he needed to, and Simerson felt like he was carrying a lot of that water.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Simerson rebounds. I think there was that episode last year where I think Levette boiled over and actually shouted at his partner.
Yeah.
First time we saw Levette lose his cool. It was a big to-do at the tournament. Simerson, you know, rallied a bit, and they did win that game and moved on, but it'll be interesting to see how he handles his partnership this year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Number 11, Ratto. Ratto is a guy that everybody expects to perform well, but yet he still hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's an 11 just tells you that nobody else below him has done anything, because Kevin Ratto has done nothing at Menstown. He's never made it to a final. He's never really competed for a cup. Yet last year he goes number 2 overall in the drafting. It was just a real shocker. He was the first team out as he was paired up with DTs. You know, until we see something out of him, he'll probably get drafted high again just because of his reputation as a hard-nosed competitor. I'm just not buying it.
Well, Ratto was probably at fault for that failure with DTs. But it also, you know, he did seem to be more interested in setting up the bocce ball game, and he did a heck of a job at that. A lot of leadership, making sure bocce ball went off without a hitch. There could have been a lot of problems with that bocce ball game, but helps design the course. And let me say, bocce ball was a great addition to Menstown.
Men really love playing with those balls.
They do. As you see, we have a few right here. Number 10, Jones. Damian Jones, again, he was in the top 5 of the hot temper rankings. Didn't really produce last year. Who was his partner?
Well, you know, he produced to a point. I think him and Maloney had a nice run on the beer pong table. They did make it to that final match in beer pong, but couldn't quite make it to the championship. You know, I like his beer pong play, and I think in Menstown's past that weighs a lot. This year, you know, you don't know where beer pong will be in that playoff. It might not be the final game. It might not be as an important a game this year. We'll see how he responds with the holy board and with the bocce ball.
Well, that is the thing, is that he does own the beer pong table, so he should be good. But what I noticed is that he's very lackadaisical and almost flippant about playing holy board. You need to get a little more serious on the boards. I think holy boards, obviously the game that everybody, what really started Menstown. I think it's been around. People are very interested in being good at beer pong and bocce ball. Yeah. You got to get back to the basics. You got to throw the washers well. All right, number 9, very interesting, Bugby. Yeah. Bugby is at 9. This is a huge leap, and there's a lot of names above him that people think, well, why isn't this person here?
Yeah.
You know, Bugby is number 9.
Yeah, without a title, he wasn't going to crack the top 8. I think this was as high as he could go. Not a surprise for me to leapfrog Ratto and Jones. Again, these guys haven't done anything to put them on the board. Bugs gets to a final last year, surprisingly. First year he didn't get paired up with DTs. I wonder why that was.
Or vice versa.
Well done, Bugs, and congratulations on number 9.
Number 9 really means that these folks will be being interviewed for a prospective draft status by the top 8. And leading off the top 8 at number 8 is Reyes. And once again, Reyes, he comes in with all this, you know, high hopes, and people look at him as a solid guy, a little reserved, very competitive. Has produced a little bit in the past, but he still does not have his name on the cup.
Yeah, this guy, Reyes, has been in that top 8 for the past few years because of his good performances in Menstown. This is the year, if he doesn't win it, he falls out.
Yeah,
because one of these top 7 are going to take one of these other guys to the title game. There's not going to be room in the top 8 anymore. Paul Reyes, this is your year.
Needless to say, it is a huge year for Reyes to crack through and get his name on the cup. If not, at least get to the finals.
And of course, he'll have the best chance getting his scroll